Cubism style, like Pablo Picasso and George Braque. What is Cubism? Cubism is an exciting way how one can look at reality. Instead of looking at a face or an object in a still life that looks as perfectly drawn as that in real life, Cubism looks at real life in a different way, a new way. Cubism was invented in around 1907-1908 by artists like Pablo Picasso and George Braque. These two, among others later on, invented this new way how one could look at real things differently. Usually, these things were objects like a vase or a jug in a still life, or a human figure or an animal figure. These artists managed to bring in a way of looking at life by mixing two views or two angles of the same object to create an interesting artistic painting that looks at real things or figures in an abstract, strange way. This is how an abstract painting is created. For today's exercise, we are going to use two photos of a setup of a still life. These photos are taken from different angles. One right from in front and the other one on the right. The objects are shot from above. We are going to start first by drawing the outline of the picture where the objects are shown from in front. We don't need to make any details, just purely the outline, and as you can see, it doesn't have to be precise or perfect. Next step, we're going to look at the image where the objects are seen from above, and we try to superimpose, draw over the first image of what we see in the second photo, right on top of the other one. Drawing two pictures on top of each other might be a little bit challenging, so I am going to teach you a secret. We can draw two pictures, one of the image from in front and the other of the image from above. We can then go over them with a thick black pen or marker and place them on top of each other. We can then trace the outlines of the underlying picture. Once done, we take the ruler and we make few divisions across the drawing. We must not exaggerate. 3 or 4 lines would be enough. We go over the outline to make it look clearer before we start coloring. We then take the red and blue and mix a mixture of brown. We add some yellow to the mix to get a better brown. We mix enough paint so that later we can add to that mix lighter tones or darker shades to fill up our drawing. Do not rub the brush too hard on the paper as it will tear. Go around the picture with the same color But make sure that you do not place the same shade or color next to each other. Once you have filled all the parts and portions with paint, you can then start adding shading, shadows and light tones to create an interesting 3D effect. You can play around with paints and brush strokes to create the effects that you wish to see in your painting. For the last and final step, you take pencil colors and you go over to enhance and improve the shapes and forms, shadows and light tones in your drawing and sharpen up the edges. Work as much as you can to have your drawing look as best it can be. Once you're happy with shading and forms, take the ruler and go over the straight lines. You don't need to make a full straight line to enhance certain parts of the line. There you are. Hope you have enjoyed this lesson about Cubism. If you have any difficulties, please let me know. Goodbye.